Okay, this reading is going to be about spiritual currency. It's just something, it's a random reading that I picked up on yesterday. So I do readings and I record it, not just for people that need it, but for myself too. So it was explaining something about the currency that we have, the physical currency and the new currency. And that's kind of all I can tell you until I start reading the cards. So, okay. I don't know what to think about that. Okay, so I'm trying to remember the things that I picked up on yesterday. It was saying when I was shuffling the cards that like, okay, so it was mentioning something about you have to change how you perceive finances. So from my understanding, the physical currency is, I'm trying to think of how I can explain it. So we have paper dollars, okay? And we have Bitcoin going on now. So it's two things. I have issues with digital currency because it messes up the frequency on earth because it has to be mined. I have mined, like it uses the electricity, causes interference on the earthly realm. Okay. Now with physical currency, I know a while back we had issues with a shortage, a coin shortage or whatever that was. And I was like, this is weird. It was the weirdest thing that I ever seen. I don't know. Most of the time when you get this information about why it's happening, it's never true. Because all you know is when you look at it, even though people are telling you, it doesn't make sense. So it was saying something about when the physical currency disappears, we are going to have a financial collapse. Anytime one part of the world has a financial collapse, it kind of has a ripple effect to go back. In the United States, we have had it, but not to the extent that we're going to have it. It's like all currency is going to be invisible, and it has to do with your intention. It has to do with your intention. I'm gonna just leave it at that. It's almost like it's integrity and truth based, and that's how you'll get it. I don't know how it works because it's like I feel information instead of seeing it more than anything. But let me just start reading so I can make sense of it. Let me see. So this is talking about changing the concept. So you're going from the Mercury frequency to the higher octave of Uranus frequency, which is saying it's a higher intelligence attached to whatever this invisible currency is or the spiritual currency is. Mercury, yeah, okay. All right, let's see. I'm gonna try not to be too long with it because it takes a while to process information. These cards are like the higher level, and then I could get the lower cards, which would be the regular tarot that we have, to get what the messages are saying. Okay. Principles. So I definitely mentioned that. I was telling you that it's integrity based or truth based. So it's like you'll be paid based on whatever you do here on earth, you're going to get paid for it. So as we go through this reform in government that's going to happen, it's happening now. It's just happening at the very beginning of it. We know that we're tapped as far as resources and food. So the people that are watching us, we tapped as far as resources and food. We've been tapped for a long time. So imagine a world where you have to barter services more than going out and working for somebody else to get finances. So that's pretty much what it is. So this is integrity based. Whatever you do on earth is how you'll get paid. behind that is a fire recharge. So this is fire and this is earth. This is heating up the element of principles. Okay, another thing I speak about in readings is people are so used to sexual currency. So there's something here about the sacral chakra and your creative resources. Like you have to actually save yourself in order to save up. It's like, okay, imagine, I'm trying to put this in regular terms because the way I get it, I can't help it. So imagine there is a pot of water on a stove. And okay, so imagine what you do. The water is your main ingredient. Okay, there are other ingredients, but your water is your main ingredient. We're not necessarily thinking about the other ingredients. I don't know why this analogy is coming through, but before you add something to it, it has to be the integrity of the water. I don't know how to explain this. Oh my goodness. So ingredients, let me see. Imagine a pot of water, and the water is the main ingredient, which obviously it is. It's heating up the water. So why is it heating up the water? It's heating up the water because, first of all, water is the main ingredient because water holds memory. Water holds memory. What in the world does that mean? Water holds memory. So the fire is added to water. When fire turns into water, it turns into vapor because it burns off. I don't get it. Okay, even when I look at this, this is saying that something is closing. Something has to close in order to be new. This would be the other ingredients. No. This would technically be substance, things that you would add to the water. This would be things that you would add to the water. This would be what you create. The fire will be what you create. So whatever you add to the water charges it. So whatever ingredient you add to your water is going to intensify and almost go out like a vapor mist to bring stuff back. It's almost like a bubble. Anyway, I won't spend too much time on that because we'll be here forever. So just put that on there. It's like you put something in, and then this element charges it and brings it and turns it into a mist. So of course you want it to be integrity because you want, when this alchemization happens, you want it to bring you back things of integrity. So you got to be real careful of what ingredients that you add to it. Because we're in spiritual warfare. Whoever don't know that, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to just leave it here. I'm going to stop here and then I'm going to get the regular cards so we can hurry up and get through this. Isis, she's known for the underworld revision. Something that has to be redone. Air. I already said the air is vapor. I already established that. The air is vapor. It's talking about something, some type of rebirth, because that's what she rules. I'm telling you, this is celibacy all day. This talks about celibacy in order to clean out your energy. But it's like lifetimes. This is not like, oh, I'm getting rid of just that partner. You got to get rid of multiple partners. You got to get rid of multiple partners to get them out your energy. So, like my question is, how does this stuff get locked in there? How does this stuff, I mean, I know DNA, I get that. DNA can cause a person's energy to be locked into yours, and it would take a while to clear it off. But what does that mean? I'm not going all the way into this reading because I would be here forever. I would be here forever. I'm gonna use the the past life deck I have, we already established that this is celibacy, sexual currency, cleaning out your system to bring into the new, because we are in a new paradigm. So the new paradigm has to be flushed out of your system. Now, this is male and female. This is for people that are not involved, have never been involved. This is talking about clearing off your parents' DNA karma that is in you, so that you are clear of being in the loop of bringing their stuff in that they never resolved, right? I always pull out so many different decks. It's talking about magic, so I want to use one of these. It's talking about magic. For anybody that you know, that's why I mentioned what is going on, so we know, because this is it's a higher level message that I'm bringing in choppy, because it's not the lower level cards. It's just going to tell me, it's going to tell me the same thing over and over again, but so people can understand what I'm talking about. It's talking about celibacy, but it's also talking about clearing off an old paradigm. I want to call it a generational curse, but I don't want to call it a generational curse. It's a paradigm shift, because generational curses is per person. But it's this is magic and alchemization. 8-8 is saying growth. There's growth taking place in the train of thought and the motivations of how we obtain things. A new level of standard based on the birth of a new era. After a while, I can articulate it. Still magic, though. Now, let me tell you what else I'm getting. I just got the information that it's talking about, I keep saying new paradigm. Aquarius moving into Pluto. No human has seen Aquarius move into Pluto. So now I'm curious about who is the queen that represents, and that's going to be the last thing I look at, because I read for myself as well as people that need it. I need to find out what female representation, because it's the birth of the divine feminine. It's a rite of passage or something that everybody has to go through so they can balance themselves out, their duality of male and female principles within themselves. But I want to know, I'm curious to which one is Aquarius in here, because this is old, but Aquarius is new. She would be ushering in the new concept of what I'm talking about here. Tarot guidance. Tarot guidance is just, I'm going to just mention this real quick. So tarot card readers, ones that are ordained, okay? Tarot card reading is a process so that you can come in alignment with your truth, but it's based on it's based on what is installed in your psychology, okay? It's like everybody's responsible for a group, because not everybody is ordained to read tarot. It's going to be a weeding out process in that. I already got the information. But anyway, I didn't get a card. Okay, so you see it says clouds, lightning, and thunder. We notice something is happening in the sky. We really can't see it. The weather is changing. And, you know, a lot of people don't know if it's the government or it's something else going on. But I can tell you there are fights going on. There's a lot of stuff happening in the sky that we can't see. So most of the time when this is going on, it's like some type of, it's cloud cover. You can't see it. If it's not cloud cover, it's some random fire that started or something like that. I just been picking up on that type of stuff. It's always a distraction to make you look the opposite way of wherever the interference in the sky is coming from. Messages. What you can't see is foresight and direction. Okay, so this is just telling me that these messages are just like this one. it's like you get a download, you know something, and it kind of sends you in a direction, but you really have to be tapped in and connected to nature to get it, because everything is stored in the earth. The trees are the antennas. That's where you get the information. So the more you connect with that, the more you open up your connection to source, the person that created all of this, different names and different religions. But anyway, it's an individual thing. You can't get this from another person. I said that before. This is a self-guided tour. So the way that I've been described Jupiter is pings that you get on a map to a destination. So the destination is soul, family, soulmate, places that you want to go. You need to be tapped in so you can be guided in that direction. And everything down here is just something to keep us busy and numb. So you got to make sure that you tapped in, because your body will tell you what foods not to eat, who not to be around, everything. Your body will respond, break out in rashes and headaches. And y'all gonna hear my daughter in the background. She has autism, so she's gonna be saying the wild stuff. Y'all gonna hear some wild stuff. Anyway, so you have to be tapped in, because this is very specific to each person. This is like a treasure hunt. I mentioned that in the TikTok video that I said before. I said that people will have to go on a scavenger hunt to find their soul family and their soulmate. So that is to break it down. I'm putting this back in because I just wanted to see for myself. Omens of healing. So this says nature. I'm just looking for people to want to see. So this right here, to me is like a stitch in your skin. It means that you're healing. This right here is it says ornithomancy, omen. So like birds, okay? This is talking about omens through birds, okay? Feathers and stuff like that. And it's a lot of stuff. But these cards together mean to me that synchronicities are going to lead you. The spirit realm talks to you in a way that they can only understand. They don't talk your language. So you have to connect the dots and follow a lot of synchronicities. It's things that you can't ignore. That's why they keep sending it to you. You have to figure it out though, because you'll have to be connected, and you can't be mixing DNA with other people. You can't even share the air with certain people because they're not in the same realm. It doesn't matter if it's family, friends. It doesn't matter who it is. If it's somebody in your environment that's kind of taking you away from yourself, once you start tapping in, then that means that the person in your environment is probably not the best thing for you, okay? All right. I'm gonna get one of these medical cards real quick. See what we pop out with. These cards are thick and they shuffle funny. Hold on. I just want to see what comes out. It's more so for myself, but like I said, anybody that's interested in this kind of stuff. When I shuffle, I get new stuff. So it's like people don't even want to talk to people from the past. It's like it's almost a surety that you know that the things. It's like negotiations are off of the table when it comes to the past and allowing people in, especially when you completely crossed over. Because this is talking about coming into your power and individual power. Y'all need to look up Isis and find out everything that happened to her, and it'll make sense. Okay, can't YouTube. This is that. I'm getting the mother, of course. Another thing I get is DNA. Okay, I wrote something down a while ago, and it was talking about DNA through the mother's milk. I still don't. I still don't fully understand it. I still don't fully understand it, but it's talking about getting DNA through the mother's milk. Not everybody is breastfed, and I completely understand that, but let's see. The only connection I can put with this reading is me talking about the divine feminine. Doesn't matter whether you was breastfed or not. The divine feminine is starting to balance in everybody, okay? Sacred femininity and sacred sexuality is going to come up a lot for people because they're being born again. Okay, so this fellow Isis, this is about what you can't see. Okay. So to me, if it was like this, it was saying that you've been stripped and you lost control, and now people have to help you. You're in a position where you don't have control over what you do. You need assistance. You could be sick. It could be anything where somebody has control over you. Okay, this would mean you stripped. This right here, you're not stripped. You're almost gaining ability back because you lost yourself all the way down to wherever this slice is. Okay, so that's good. So you're regenerating. Her husband was killed. She had to go and get 13 pieces, I believe, to put it back together, and she was able to bring him back to life. The mouth and the hand. I don't know if I'm getting any. I always say I don't know if I'm getting anything on it. It's because I had to process it. I don't like long videos. You're going to pick up on the health of people that are not reborn. Okay? They don't have control. There's a big difference between this hand and that hand. This person has been completely stripped. All right, it's getting a little intense. Because it's saying that the reason that they approach you and now that negotiation is off the table is because you got a lot of people that talk their way back into things, you know, guilt tripping and stuff like that. But this person is out of resources and they need a host. Okay. They need a host. It doesn't matter if they need financial resources, somebody to take care of them or whatever. But it's like, I feel like a lot of people, because of the paradigm shift, they got out just in time. All right. And this one is last. And then I'm going to cut this read off. Ooh. Servant. Child care. Indentured servant and housework and other. I'm not taking it, but I do. That definitely ties into it. Somebody looking for a host or a servant. Sometimes. Okay, I'm going to explain this card, okay? And then I'm going to get one more. The reason that all of this is happening is because this is the paradigm that we've been under. We have been servants, okay? It's part of the plan, but I tell a lot of people that this paradigm shift and everything that I spoke of since the beginning of the video, a lot of people have, men and women, have been under the program of domestication. Domestication is not freedom unless it is a personal choice. So domestication is something that has been marketed to pull you away from yourself, because the kids may not be on the table. A house may not be on the table, like a 30-year mortgage. Whatever is traditional may not be on the table because everybody's mind wasn't open, okay? But that was the paradigm of the feminine. That's why it's been so oppressed, because she's been domesticated and that was marketed, but it's not, that's not who, a lot of people are just getting to know themselves and who they are. Charity. It definitely was tapping the card. Beneficiary, patron, benefactor, and good Samaritan. I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is, but I don't even attach it to another person. But listen, we going back to this, okay? People will be able to see stuff and tap into their intuition more. This is the fire. This is the pot. The main ingredient is the water. This has to do with principles. This has to do with the ingredients. This is water. Water is the base ingredient. It holds memory. This is the other ingredients that I was talking about in the beginning, people given to you. But this currency is integrity based. It uses discernment. It's like you got to make sure that you're not taking blood money or bribes, right? So a bribe would be, I pay your bills. I'm making this up now. I pay your bills, and then 6 months later, I ask you to move into my house. Now, I'm not saying I'm just using this as an analogy. How about you move into my house? Why would I move into your house? How about you move into my house? Because it sounds like you're trying to domesticate me. And I'm not saying that so people will be skeptical and suspicious, but I'm just saying you need discernment when people give you money, because there are attachments to it. Just like if somebody offers you something and they expect something in return. When I offer something, I don't expect nothing in return. I do it because that's what I like doing. So when somebody says, oh, can you take me here or take me there? If I don't feel like doing it, I'm not going to do it. If they have a bad attitude about it because I'm not doing it and they bought me a value meal the week before, that's not on me. That's on them. You know, you should have been pure with your intention of why you were giving what you were giving. So that's pretty much what it's talking about. And that's everything. And I'm going to just go ahead and cut it off now. But it's like you really have to be aware during this shift, because just because the shift is happening doesn't mean that you're in the clear. It means that you're awakened, because now all the new offers are going to start to come in from friends, family, love partners, all types of stuff. And everybody has went through a transition, but you don't know where they are spiritually. So you have to be tapped in, especially with nature. You have to be tapped in with patience so that you can see if a person doesn't get what they expect at a certain time, how they really act, because a lot of people are on time frames because they've run out of resources and they're panicking because they haven't done the healing. So that's what this reading is all about. A lot of good stuff is also going to come in for people that have already been, because the celibacy happened to people. It happened to them. The lesson on this card says self-identity. The time frame is early Bronze Age. The identity is a young female. The love is unrequited. Wow, all of this stuff is tying in. The faith is monotheistic. I don't know what that is. The trauma is imprisonment. The divine feminine has been imprisoned and oppressed. The location is Mexico. The death is non-contagious illness. And that's it. That's everything that came off of that. But that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. One love card. I done went all the way in. It's just saying use discernment. But love is here for sure. So just be, you know. Love is it's not limited to just love partners. It is limited to friends and family. These people have been given to people this energy a lot. So definitely take that into consideration whenever I read, because third parties and all of that stuff that everybody talk about, it is not limited to just a love partner. Drama, a mask. It's like, let me tell you what I get with that. People coming back and finally giving you what you want, whether it's attention or something that you've been asking them to do for the longest kind of time. Make sure you vet people. Vet everybody. Vet everybody. They only coming back to you after you told them the same thing over and over again. They coming back for a reason. Because people don't want to come back. Nobody wants to go back. And nobody wants to concede. Nobody wants to withdraw. Nobody wants to be humble. Okay. I already know that card. So we can't see it. This is what you can't see, but you got a sneak peek, because we did see that card tumble where we got a sneak peek of it. And a sneak peek was a key. So you can't see it, but you got a peek. It's almost like you kind of know. You got little hints, probably through dreams, because air is like anxiety. Anxiety comes before whatever the situation is that comes. So it's like you know something is coming, but you don't know what it is. So you kind of got a sneak peek of it. That's the sneak peek. Okay, it says detachment. And it's in the reverse. So the opposite of detachment is attached. People intuitively know that you are no longer interested in having a relationship, building a relationship, staying where you are. You have fearlessly stepped into whatever your next step is, and that is power. You're not afraid of whatever the circumstances are. I'm not going to say you're not completely afraid, but you are not. You rather be anywhere than backwards. Okay? Anywhere than backwards. So that's really, really good. Sparks and patience. This is talking about a political game. A political game of chess. These are all of the things that we weren't aware of that's coming through. We have access to, which is people's intentions. I already told y'all the paradigm shift included a cap coming off of everybody's intelligence. This is 34. This is 4. This is 25. 25 is 7. 34 is 7. And this is 4. So 4 talks about changes and shifts. It talks about one thing staying the same, the other thing changing. And this actually is the beginning of something exploding apart. People are starting to get that into their intuition that, oh my goodness, somebody's missing. I'm connecting with that person missing with why my world is off balance. So you're a key. Be very careful. Key. This key opens. This key is a master key. Be very careful with your energy. Anyway, this is talking about this separation causing a spiritual awakening, and this 7 is talking about changes in partnership that lead you into a different direction. So that's happening on both sides. This person is having a spiritual awakening that they lost, and this person over here is like, I'm gonna go ahead on this journey and figure this out myself. Goodbye. All right, so that's it.